When I was 16, I was diagnosed with lupus, so that's what caused the kidney failure. I started being monitored for the kidney failure at about 19 or so.
I started having these headaches, like severe headaches. I thought it was just a migraine. So I went to the doctor. They found out that my right kidney was small. So I went through a lot of tests, and then they come up with a diagnosis that I have this IgA nephropathy.
I had a polycystic kidney disease, and my kidney function was rapidly declining. So I was very tired, no energy.
All in all, it was pretty already hectic with the medical issues, but overall I was a happy high school student before and college student when I first started dialysis.
The only treatment to my condition was to slow the shrinkage. My kidney was like really, the function is really low.
When I started dialysis, they did the perm cath. I hadn't had the catheter put in yet. So I did in-center dialysis, and I did that for about 3 months. And in the process of doing that, I got the PD catheter. I would do in-center hemo for about 4 hours, and then I would go to the back to train for another 2.5 hours to learn how to care and work the machine for the PD catheter.
I told the surgeon, I don't want to go on dialysis, and I want to do the transplant. He looked at me and he said, if we gonna operate on you, it's not gonna be a successful surgery. So the best way is to go start losing the weight. For me, I never had issue thinking that I'm overweight or try to lose weight. But when I thought about it, I said, no, this is like dead for me. It's like the dead end for me. Either I lose the weight or I'll go on dialysis.
So that was kind of my life, on the machine 8 to 12 hours a day as it progressed, and my kidney function decreased.
So they helped me to choose the right decision, which I'm grateful that I lost the weight.
My doctor was proactive, so let's bring you to the list on the transplant. So before I do the dialysis.
The first step, I joined the transplant team. They sent me to the seminar. The seminar by itself was very helpful because I had to listen to other people they went through, either recipients or donors, doctors, pharmacists. So for me, it was very helpful. I had no idea what's gonna happen.
They tell you all the stories about the different types of kidneys and what they look for, and then you're like, oh wow, that's a lot. So in doing that, it was pretty scary, but overall everybody was so welcoming and comforting and was like, we get it, you know, it's an adjustment, but you have a great support team. We're here, we'll get through it. So that was helpful.
I encourage everyone to join that seminar because this is the right path to go to the transplant.
I waited for 3 years to get the transplant.
The first call I actually got, it was still year 5. She called and said, we might have a match. And she explained how everything go. And I said, okay. And I think I was in shock because that was my first call. And everybody says, don't get too excited the first call because it could always fall through.
3 false alarm calls. The first one is very exciting because I got the kidney, and then they told me that it wasn't really a good one because there's like a lot of like conditions with the donor.
It was a Labor Day, and it was 4 p.m. The nurse, she called me, she's like, we got you a match. I was very nervous and happy at the same time.
I got another call. I had just started a job, my first social work job. I had been there only like 2 weeks. They called me as soon as I walked into the building and said, we have a match. I said, okay. They called about an hour and a half later and was like, okay, well, how long will it take for you to get here? Will an hour and a half be great? And I said, yep. I cried.
So I was like very, very thankful, and I was crying and I was yelling. I'm like, oh God, thank you. This is the time. But I was in like a cloud 9 that time. So it was really happy. And I told my family, my husband and everybody, and then everybody were crying about that.
It was very organized. I came to the ER, checked in.
Everybody are coming in, and all the nurses, the physician.
They took me to the room. They started doing testing on me.
It was just happening so fast, and everybody are so helpful and they're very positive.
And they're like, we get that you're nervous, it's a big deal, but it's okay.
That relieved me a little bit, you know. And the nurses they're very happy for me. And I was happy and nervous, and they tried to talk to me to relax, a little bit, because you don't know what's gonna happen to you during the surgery. So I was very happy and grateful, yeah.
I woke up in the ICU, and the nurses there in the ICU are very, very caring.
First time opening my eyes after surgery, all I remember, honestly, is pain.
So I didn't feel anything, just I was sleeping, relaxing. Then after that, I went to the room for recovery, and I had to stand up and start walking.
Yep, my third day I was up walking down the hall. They were like, wow, you're really doing great.
You could feel their compassion to what you need and all that.
And I was amazed that I can walk, because I thought it's gonna be too much opening, that I cannot walk. But no, I walked, and the recovery was very fast actually for me.
Day 4 walking.
So it's very a good experience. They took care of me very well.
I'm very thankful and grateful. My life was like a roller coaster, and it took me to a better place, which my kidney functions perfect.
My normal life, I came back to my normal life. My skin condition, everything is gone, and I feel very healthy, and at the same time, I'm very happy.
Overall, it's been a great journey. I feel like everything I wanted to accomplish, I can and I will.
I would like to say something to my donor family. I'm very, very thankful for them, for the gift of life that they gave me.
It really make a difference. And even though I know that they're hurting, and I'm a little over a year, so it's still really fresh for them as it is for me. But I know my happy moment was one of their sad moments.
I'm very grateful and honored that I had to share their loved one organ. I hope that I can meet them one day to show them and to thank them personally. I just say God bless his soul or her soul.
This video is sponsored in whole or part by the Gift of Life Foundation.